Rando.
I'm ready for some more rando.
And here we go. Gonna see some divergence right off the bat. We got a bee in a bottle over in Link's house. We got a piece of heart in the sanctuary. So let's see where our runners decide to do.
And you know what? I gotta say, this is a bit refreshing after broadcasting the last stream where it was like the exact same thing over and over. I like seeing some early route divergence.
Absolutely. Failstream now going to be going up to Uncle, while Ozipone, it looks like he's going to be doing the typical Lumberjack Lost Woods route.
All right, we do get to see what the tree pull is, and it's just small little magic decanters.
Yeah, and only big 20 from the Uncle, unfortunately, as well. Hearts from the Hoarder, so not much paying out there. And we got a heart container over in Uncle's chest, so, you know, a little extra health, not too bad. Let's see what we get here in... Got a shield in the Lumberjack Cave. Probably not going to be seeing Riot Shield today, folks.
Yep, so far, Aghanim not required yet.
No, but last race, the Lumberjack wasn't needed, but then again, they still ended up having to do Aghanim. So let's see how that plays out here. Ozipone now working its way through the Lost Woods. Failstream gets his piece of heart, and another piece of heart in the mushroom spot. Let's see what we find here in the Lost Thieves hideout. Das Boot!
We have early boots.
Definitely not complaining about that, I'm sure. Early boots for our runners here. That means we're going to be going fast this whole race.
Oh yeah, gotta go fast.
What are those? With that, now he's going to make his way to Kakariko. He has no bombs, so he's hoping to find some in one of those chests in Kakariko, or at least get enough money to buy some from the shop. And in fact, he is going straight for the tavern to hope to get some before he goes to the well. Which makes sense. You want to make sure you have the bombs before you get it. We got a 5-bomb upgrade. Well, we got bombs, we got something related to bombs, just not the bombs themselves.
Now, next item better be bombos. Alright, looks like he's going to be trying to pull for some here. There we go.
He tried to farm for a bomb there so we can enter the shack so he can get some guaranteed bombs. Not makes sense. You can get 4 bombs from that shack. That's more than enough to get you through the early part of Kakariko, and then he can go in and out and grab some more.
Yep, and for Failstream, he actually won't be needing to do so. He already has 4 bombs, so...
Yeah, that works out in his favor there. But Ozipone now has 12 bombs total. He was able to get quite a few, so he is set to go for a while. He'll be able to get everything out of Kakariko and probably have enough bombs left over in case he needs them for Mini Moldorm Cave. So let's see what we find in here. We got Big 20 starting things off in the well. Failstream going straight to Blind's Hut. So we're going to be seeing a lot of items here. A lot of different items. Piece of heart in the back. Let's see what else we get here. Half magic. Ooh, that's nice to find early. 5-bomb upgrade. Fighter sword in Blind's Hut. Piece of heart. Looks like another arrow upgrade. 5 rupees and 10 arrows. What's also in the back of Blind's Hut now?
Yep, and our last item is going to be just a big 20.
Another big 20. So still have magic and an early fighter sword. Not too bad.
No, I'm pretty happy at this point. I mean, a fighter sword is going to make it a lot easier. They don't have to worry about bombing the mini Moldorms down in the mini Moldorm cave, so...
So now both our runners now crossing each other's paths, doing the things the other one already just did. So we still got a few other areas in Kakariko to check. We still got the chicken shack. We still got... we haven't found any... we have a bottle, so we have a sick kid to check as well. Piece of heart from the bottle vendor. Not quite what we was hoping for there. Wonder what's going to be in the library shelf. They can get that now. able to get that right away. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see if the seed actually gives them a required item there, considering how early they got the boots.
Yeah, a little bit of high five action there from our runners as they pick up a piece of heart from the chicken shack. Now, bear in mind, Ozipone, I don't think, got a bottle, so he's not going to be able to check Sick Kid, but Failstream will. So if Sick Kid has anything, this is going to give advantage to Failstream early on. But let's see what's in the library. Let's see if that actually comes back to pay off. And it's just a 5-bomb upgrade.
All right, here's a moment of truth here. The Sick Kid just gives a piece of heart.
Oh, Bo on race game again?
Wow. Okay, so, okay. I don't know what to say.
That's unexpected. Both our races back-to-back having Bo in race game. Well, there goes our prediction there, Echoes.
Yeah, geez. So, do you want to change your prediction now?
I think I'm going to have to at this point. I'll call... You know what? I'll go over the obvious troll, Ice Rod.
Ice Rod? Okay, well, if the bow was any indication, I'm going to change mine over to the hook shot.
I can understand that.
So, you know, for those of you who weren't here for our last race, that was the last item that was needed for go mode. So, hook shot it is for me now.
I don't blame you at all with how trolly it was. Also, by the way, thank you to Sully X for the 100 bits. Let's see what we find here in the den. There's the single rupee, one of 2 that you can find in this game. Oh, we got a map check. Crystal 5 and 6 in the light world, and I think it was also Crystal a desert.
Oh, wow. So I think, wow. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but could we see another pendant turtle rock with a required item in there now?
I don't know. We've got a wet bottle there in the dam. Surprised it didn't have anything in it considering it was flooded. Should have at least had some water in there, but we also find 10 bomb upgrade, big 20, and another big 20 in Sir Hassela's closet. Funny enough, Failstream did not go down to the South Shore. That's a route that almost any runner I know takes because of just how many items there are, but he is making a gamble on checking that later.
Yeah, I mean, coming over here, it's a decent gamble to make after just finding the bow. You have a sword, so you can navigate the dark rooms a bit easier. Maybe trying to, you know, make this gamble and see if he can't, you know, get any value from it to try to pull ahead from his opponent.
Yep. Not much found in the mini Mildorm cave, though, so maybe this was the right call after all. As Ozipone has not found anything of real value, I think the only place left to check is the Ice Rod Cave. So this might work out in Failstream's favor. Though you know he's going to check that location eventually, because you just don't pass it up. 300 rupees, that's always nice to find this early on.
Oh yeah, that gets him almost enough to go and check Azora. Just needs 144 more.
All right, so here's where we'll see whether or not Failstream made the right call here. Ice Rod Cave getting checked by Ozipone, and we have just a 5-bomb upgrade. So yeah, Failstream actually made the right gamble. He's gonna route that in later. It gets the big key in Eastern Palace, so this is working out in his favor.
Yeah, I've been seeing a ton of bomb upgrades so far. I think that's our third one that we've seen this early on in the game.
All right, so Ozipone now got a fake flipper. He's going to check Lake Hylia Island, head to the Hobo, and then probably do Zora. Well, he can't do Zora. He doesn't have money. Big 20 on Lake Hylia Island. Map found for Failstream in Eastern Palace. So he's going to check the big chest and probably run over to the vanilla big key location since he's only found 1 item so far. And there's 10 arrows, so he's not finding much in Eastern either. But then again, it is a crystal dungeon. More specifically, it's a pyramid fairy crystal. So you definitely want to get that done. Let's see what Ozipone gets here at the hobo. And just another big 20. Oh, and Ozipone got a water walking glitch.
Yeah, I believe he... Did he set that... I don't... Did he set that up exiting the...
Yeah, he did that. He jumped off the hobo. When he jumped off the ledge for the hobo, he activated a water walking glitch, which means he can check the waterfall of wishing without a moon pearl. That's a rare treat. And he's going to get a big 20 and 50 rupees for his troubles. Not enough for Zora, but certainly not bad. And he can at least check the Zora ledge to see what it has.
And Failstream going to play it safe and do this room the vanilla way, clearing out all the enemies so these anti-fairies will allow you to step on that switch.
Power glove!
Power glove.
I love the power glove. It's so bad.
Wow, so that's our third item here.
Yeah, that means the compass is on the Armos Knights. I mean, if he didn't have to clear it, he'd be exiting out by now, but it is a crystal. Meanwhile, Ozipone going to head to Uncle and then probably head into the dungeon area of escape to see what it has. Since he's got that sword, he might find some good items in there. And given what little we found so far, that's a very good possibility.
Yeah, and with Failstream sequence breaking and finding that glove, that opens up just a few more locations he'd be able to check once he's done here. He can go and check the back part of Escape as well. And of course, that is the first part of the puzzle for our Dark World access.
Very much so, but given what little we found so far, it's gonna be interesting to see what might happen because of this. Because we need, unless they find both gloves and the Moon Pearl, or the hammer and the Moon Pearl, we may be seeing another Aghanim seed just after the one we just had.
And with the way that the seed is given our
there's the hammer. We might want to rethink whatever we were going to say there, Echoes, because I think we might be seeing a no Aghanim seed run this time.
Yeah, possibly. I was actually just getting ready to say with the 5, 6 crystals both being light ward, we could even see the never mind. I was gonna say the hammer there, but at the double-chested fairy.
Nope, not this time. We got it here. That's still a big find for him here. There's the map. And Failstream having only a little trouble there with that last Armos Knight, which is always a pain. There's the compass, and this is his first crystal of the race. Nicely done by Failstream.
Yeah, 13 minutes in, your first crystal. You gotta feel good about that.
Yeah, it's gotta give you a bit of a confidence boost here, thinking, okay, I got this now, since he's got it this early. But we'll see how that plays out later on. Ozipone now gonna be working on the Chain Guard Knight.
And he's setting up a death warp here.
Makes sense. There's not much else he can do here otherwise. And what does he find?
It's
the lamp!
So, with that, we know that the power glove that Failstream found isn't necessarily a sequence break, as the lamp is accessible in the first part of the escape.
Yeah, that's going to open up a lot once he gets to the Eastern Palace here. We find Ether in the Bonk Cave. So that makes things interesting. Will that be a required medallion? Well, I know it was for both dungeons last time. Will it be again? Failstream now going to check the back of Escape since he's got that power glove. He's going to see what's back there. 3 items. He could check the dark room, and funny enough, he could have checked it in logic because the lamp is in the dungeon, but he doesn't know that yet. We find 50 rupees, key, and a big 20, and he's opting not to check the dark room. He's going to wait until he gets his... And that means, it's going to be worth checking that dark room because that is an item. Since we now have the key, we know the key's there, and we know where everything else is. We know where the map is. So they might be tempted to go back there at some point.
Yeah, so now Failstream is going to be checking the southern part of Hyrule now that he has completed Eastern Palace. So And with this being stuff that we've already seen so far, everybody, if you do like what you're seeing here, please make sure you give both of these runners a follow. They're putting on a fantastic show and have put on a fantastic show throughout the entirety of this tournament.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my friend.
And of course, big props to our restreamer and our tracker here. We have Jeremy Trammer tracking for us today, an OPT lawyer. And then, of course, the fantastic The Shades along with me today.
Absolutely. I appreciate joining you. Appreciate you having me with you, Mary, my friend. We're going to see what, Failstream now is going to check out the mini Bull cave. Not going to find much there, unfortunately. So the question is where do these runners go after this? I mean, they're going to have the lamp. It's if Failstream members check the dungeon area. We know Agnes Cave's open. Obviously, this means Death Mountain's going to be open. But there's not going to be much up there unless they find either the hookshot or the mirror. What else are they going to locate?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Death Mountain play coming up.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, there's going to be, I want to say, 3 item locations if you go up that direction versus, one that's a bit out of the way in Agnes Cave. So I think logically that would be the next best choice. Also, we haven't seen Zora because we haven't had the rupees for it. Those gloves actually puts Zora, King Zora, in the logic right now, so they can go check that. That could also be holding a key piece of the progression force as well.
Very true, and Failstream actually might be in position to get that item since if he goes. Well, no, he won't be able to check the Waterfall of Wishing unless he's able to do the same water walking glitch Ozipone did. So it really comes down to he's not even going to bother. He's going to go ahead and save and quit. So now we're going to be watching to see what Failstream does from here.
All right, Failstream is going to be going into the escape. So he's going to be able to pick up his lamp.
And his hammer. So that's going to be really pay off for him in here. Meanwhile, Ozipone picking up his power glove in Eastern Palace. So we're getting a decent amount of items early on. Not a great amount, but a decent amount to start things off. So it's going to be a well-paced seed, it's looking like at this point.
Yeah, and at this point, if there's really nothing up on Death Mountain or an Agnes Cave, the one thing I think that we don't want to see right now is the cape.
No, cape or master sword, I think, are the 2 things we don't want to be seeing right now because that's going to clue them in that they might have to do Aghanim. So if they see one of those, they're going to probably start to sweat a little bit. But if it's anything, if it's Titan's Mitts or Moon Pearl, especially because they have the means to access Dark World with just the Moon Pearl needed, that's going to make them feel a lot better. And given how many places we do have left to check, I would not be surprised if we do find the Moon Pearl. I get the feeling this will not be an Aghanim seed at this point when we have the hammer and the power glove.
Yeah, I think the only thing that would keep it from being an Aghanim seed is if the Moon Pearl is on the pyramid at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would make this an Aghanim seed. Anything else, it's already dead. So the odds are slow, but doesn't mean it won't happen. This is Randomizer. This is me. Anything can happen.
Failstream trying to decide what to do here. We'll see if he decides to go and check that last chest that's in the escape. Looks like that's where he's headed.
Yeah, this could be one of those critical moments we see because Ozipone skipped this early and he's not going back there. So if there's a critical item in that chest, that could make the difference for Failstream. And again, Ozipone is checking the back end of escape, and there is a key in there, so he may opt to go the back way into it.
Yeah, and it would be really tempting. Considering he already has the lamp, so looks like that's what he's going to be doing.
This might actually work on his favor because the back way is a little bit faster. Not by much, but enough to help him out here. But nonetheless, Failstream gets the item first. Only 300 rupees. That's enough for Zora money, so that might be something he considers doing, but we'll see what he does next. Nope. Okay, he changed his mind. He's gonna go something. He's gonna exit a different way here. I think he's gonna make the play to Death Mountain. That would be my suspicion.
Yeah, with him saving and quitting out the Sanctuary, I think it's a really high probability of him heading up Death Mountain, checking the old man in the cave here, and checking out what's on Spectacle Rock. And looks like Ozipone is following suit.
Makes sense. There's not many other major areas to check. Aside from this, there's just Zora and Agata. So this seems to be the play. Let's see what plays out here. Failstream picking up the old man now. Gonna have to do some walking here because one thing a lot of people don't realize is when you have the old man in tow, you cannot use the boots. The boots actually will slow you down, and it's actually slower than walking.
Yeah, and I really like the decision to come here, instead of going to Zora or... Oh!
There's the Moon Pearl!
And, rip Aghanim.
Yep, Aghanim Seed completely dead now. There is no need to do it. But yeah, what are the odds of that? That worked out really good, and Ozipone will be getting that himself very shortly. Let's see what's on Spectacle Rock and Spectacle Rock Cave. On the rock itself, we have just a piece of heart. And let's see what we have in the cave. We've got just a big 20, so he's going to save and quit out of there. And at this point, I think the next stop's going to be either Skull Woods or Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And it looks like, indeed, that's where he's heading. He's heading to Kakariko to access that portal in the back. You're going to have to go the long way around to get to it, but you'll be able to access Dark World from there. And then it's just decided whether or not to go up to Skull Woods or down into the Village of Outcasts in Thieves Town. He might do a map check first to decide that.
I was going to say, if it were me, I would go into Thieves Town, the Village of Outcasts, because 6 hearts is not very much for Skull Woods, considering Mothula hits like a truck.
That's true. Well, then again, they won't be able to get to Mothula because they don't have the Fire Rod yet. So they're just going to be going in there to check items. And given the frequency of progression items in Skull Woods, even with version 27 reducing that, it's still not a bad idea. So let's see. We got our map check here. Blue pendant at Skull Woods. Green pendant at Misery Mire. Red pendant at Swamp Palace.
Interesting pendant locations.
Indeed. That knocks out a couple potential pedestal items, but not much.
And there's
the hook shot. Nice call by Failstream getting the hook shot in Skull Woods. This, like I said, even with the reduced amount that version 27 did compared to version 26, it's still a high chance of finding progression items in Skull Woods, and Failstream proving that, finding the hook shot there. And I know last seed Skull Woods turned out to be pretty profitable too, so this was a good play.
Yeah, and I love seeing the hook shot early. That opens up so many locations that you can go and check. We're just the flippers away from being able to go into the Swamp Palace, where that opens up the entire east side of Death Mountain, and with the hammer that opens up Tower of Hera, and in turn, the double-chested ferry. So that hook shot is absolutely amazing right here.
Yeah, definitely. Failstream going to exit and re-enter. Probably take a death warp on the. Oh, no, he's gonna go the long way into the big chest, since he doesn't have enough health to do a bomb jump. Ozipone now picking up his hook shot as well. Oh, gets a heart and immediately loses it to the Halasar. That's just that feels bad, man. All right, so Failstream now got to check the big chest. What is he going to find in here? It is just the burrito, which means the last 2 items are in the back end, which he can... Well, no, there's still 1 chest he can check.
And
But he's opting not to check it. He's going to go into the Village of Outcasts. Actually, scratch that. He's going to go check Bumper Cave. He's going to be very careful. He's only got green mail. Just a piece of heart in the Bumper Cave, unfortunately.
yeah, he's got to be really careful here. Any damage he takes will end up killing him here, and without having the mirror or killing Aghanim, it'll put him back in the light world.
He definitely does not want that right now. But he's in the Village of Outcasts. He's going to check what's in the Sea House, starting things off. Let's see what he finds in here. Meanwhile, Ozipone going to check the middle end of Skullwoods. There's a heart container for Failstream. Gives him a little extra health that he desperately needs right now.
Yeah, the seed has definitely not been generous at all with the the heart pieces and heart container so far.
Not yet, no. We'll have to see where they find those later on. He's going to check the bombable hut, finds another 10 arrows. Still not finding anything big yet. This seed is trolling them. We're going to be seeing a very heavy late game when it comes to items here. Small key in the chest here in the in the middle of Skull Woods. So he's out of there. And the chess game gives us blue mail.
That's definitely a nice pickup, considering, once again, not very many hearts so far, so that pretty much doubles your health pool. So, good find there for Failstream.
Always need those. Always good to find those safeties when you need them. Let's see what we find in Thieves Town. There's a heart container. Very nice that he grabbed that when he did, so that gives him even more health. There's 4 chests in the front of Thieves Town. One of them is guaranteed to be the big key. And the rest could be items. So we found the bombs now. That's 2 items. And I think there's just, 3, maybe 4 items in Thieves Town, if I remember correctly?
Yes, there's actually 4 items in Thieves Town. So, so far we've gotten half of them knocked out here. And there's our big key.
And what's our last chest here? It is just a small key. So that means from here on out, we are going to have to check the back end of Thieves Town. Now, thankfully, they have the hammer, so they can check the big chest. Oh, takes a death.
No. Bunks right into that. I don't even know what to call that little orb. I know when I was a kid, I used to call those things fuzzies.
They're very much like the fuzzies from Mario. I can't blame you there.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it doesn't hurt him too badly. It wasn't like he was in like a big dungeon like Ice Palace or Swamp. So this one won't hurt him too badly, but he can't have that happen too often.
Yep. Plus that death there does give him a bit more health to continue on through this dungeon, so not the worst thing that could happen there.
No, not at all. Alright, so he's going to continue on here, heading his way into the Hellway. Thankfully, he's got that blue mail, so it'll be a little easier to survive it. But he's got to be careful. He's taking a bit of damage here. And I will be right back.
All right. So now we have Failstream heading up here to the top of Thieves Town. Thankfully, with the blue mail, these little grasshopper, cricket, whatever you want to call them, they will only do 1 heart, so it's a bit safer up here now. Plus, with the boots and having a sword as well, you can pretty much dash right through them. And there's the map. So there are 3 more locations here that could have items. We've got the chest that's next to the blind, as well as the drop from blind himself, as well as the big chest.
All right, sorry about that, folks. Had to take a call.
Meanwhile,
still
Ozipone. Sorry,
sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, haven't found much. Ozipone making his way now through. Let's see what the maiden has for us here in her treasure chest. Trying to make sure he clears the way through for it. And piece of heart. I believe that's 3 items accounted for.
Yep, that's 3 of the 4 items here. So this big chest here will tell us if Blind has an item.
Yep, it's either the compass or an item. What's it going to be? It's just a big 20, so compass on Blind. This is a crystal dungeon, so they'll still have to complete this, but at least they know they don't have to worry about any items.
Yeah, and Thieves Town didn't really have anything this time around.
No, it did not. Unfortunately, just complete combust. But well, you know, and that's interesting considering we're pretty early into this race, but at the same time we're already in Dark World. We've already completed 1 dungeon. We usually have more items than this by this point, so this is gonna be a rather slow seed. Definitely not a shade seed, that's for sure.
So, where do you feel their next big piece of progression may be?
Oh, that's a good question. I have no idea. It's Failstream. Very nice fight on Blind. He's the only fighter sword. Gets his 2nd crystal. So, let's see. What can they do now? Pod might be a possibility.
Yeah, they have everything they need for Pod. And Failstream deciding to go ahead and quit on out.
Well, he's already got everything he can. He's got both items out of Skull Woods. He's already gotten there. He's cleared out Thieves Town. And he's going to head up to Death Mountain, using that, taking the cue from getting the hook shot earlier in Skull Woods.
Yeah, I was going to say, pretty much either gamble that they make, either Death Mountain or Palace of Darkness, I don't think either of them would be a bad call or the wrong call at this point, considering how many items are in each location.
So much potential no matter which way you go. So yeah, I definitely don't blame him for going this way. I mean, you get at least a solid 8 items this way between the Paradox Cave, or as I like to call it, the New Hype Cave, because you're almost always guaranteed to find something here. And let's see if I'm right this time. We have Big 20 and Mirror. Can I call it, or can I call it?
I think you can call it.
All right, now let's see if the top end of Paradox Cave has anything. We get Master Sword, Red Meringue, Triple Bombs, and on the other side we find another big 20 and a 50 rupees. Still 3, at least 2 solid items and 1 more that's not half bad. Ozipone now paying a visit to good old Alec Baldwin to check the digging game, see what that's got to offer him. Let's see what he finds here. 300 rupees.
Yeah, so both these runners looking really good on rupees now. I don't think they need to pick up another rupee to be able to have enough to complete everything that this game would require of them.
No, I think they're good at this point. Ozipone now going to check old Stumpy while Failstream's going to make the play on Tower of Hera. There's the silvers! Good find for Ozipone. And big key early for Failstream. That's always nice to find. Lessens the chance of a basement run, but depends on what items they find along the way. And Ozipone going to check what I like to call the Prince Cave, because for me, it's the artist formerly known as Hype Cave. Oh, there's the compass for Failstream. We've got Big 20. Let's see what else we get here. We get Quake, 5-bomb upgrade, heart container, and 10 arrows. Well, wouldn't call that a fail cave, but I definitely wouldn't exactly call that Hype Cave either.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Definitely not as hype as what it could have been, but at least we got an item out of there that could unlock one of these dungeons for them, either Turtle Rock or Misery Mire. So not the worst case scenario there.
No, it's not complete crash caves, but we'll see how that plays out later on. Failstream now going to get the big chest here, finds the small key, so that increases the chance of a basement run now, because they have not found all. Did they find the map? I don't think they did.
I don't think they found any items yet.
Oh, so that means that both the basement and Troll Dorm have items on them. Oh, that is doubly painful. And as he's taking on Troll Dorm, Ozipone going to pay off everyone's favorite little extortionist, Kiki the Monkey, and head into the Palace of Darkness. Ooh. Oh, and Failstream takes a fall.
Troll Dorm living up to his name here.
He is not playing nice after, and he already tortured the last runners.
Yeah, a little aside here, I do like that Failstream did come up here, because once he's done here, he can actually go to the Bat Fairy, check Pyramid, and then hit into Pod all in one go.
That is a very good routing, and the single arrow.
All right, so we know both our runners will be getting the validation arrow today. No avoiding it this time.
Not in this case, because you're gonna have to get that crystal. Though calling the validation arrow, I'm trying to. A lot of us are trying to kill that joke. Let the fans have it. We don't need to call it that.
And looks like Failstream is going to skip the basement and Tower of Hera.
Ooh, that's a gamble. That is a gamble. See if that pays off for him here. Ozipone now gonna head into the back, lower end. I never figured out what to call this section. I call it the back front end.
The back front end.
It's the best name I can come up for it. But he's checking out that area of what Dr. Bob Tastic calls the mullet mansion, because most of the keys are in the front, pretty much all the items in their back. So just like any good mullet, it's business in the front, party in the back.
So we have Failstream just picked up their Quake Medallion in what was, I guess, formerly known as Hype Cave now, because there's really no hype in there ever anymore.
That's why I call it the Prince Cave.
And still not much going on here for Ozipone.
Yeah. Oh, but Failstream, I don't think he realizes he's got both the crystals to check the Pyramid Fairy. He's going right to Pod.
Oh. I'm really curious about that. Maybe he just doesn't realize that he has both of them?
That's the only thing I can think of, because that kind of routing would be really efficient, but he's just not going for it. Nonetheless, we're going to see how Pod looks here at this point. Ozipone now clearing up pretty much most of the front end of Pod. So he's got all the business done. Now it's time to party. And Zelda-san, we've already found the single arrow. Single arrow's on Troll Dorm.
And Ozipone gonna open up the right there and then head into the dark room.
Gonna head into the dark maze of Pod. Oh, I'm sure they're glad they have the lamp for this, because this is one of the harder rooms to do without it. There's the big key. Good call there. So it means he can immediately check the big chest right away. That'll save him a little bit of time. 5 arrow upgrades, so not finding much so far. Let's see if the big chest has anything for him. And we have, someone get Phantom Ryu back, because it's gotta be Kane.
Great find there. That, well, no, we don't have the flute. I was gonna say that opens up Misery Mire, but nope, don't have the flute yet, so that is still one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. Then again, it's more for Total Rock in this run than Misery Mire, because Misery Mire is a pendant, but we'll see how it plays out. There's another 5-arrow upgrade, and there's the compass.
So this chest down here is likely going to be a key.
And you are correct, sir. And I think we still haven't... Have we found the map yet?
We have. We've found all 3 of the
Okay, so that means that the odds are good then the last item is on Helmisar King.
And making use of that Canis and Maria immediately after finding it. Saving time from pushing that statue over there.
Oh, and you gotta have magic, why not? And thanks to the silvers, he's gonna have a much easier time here in this fight. He'll probably be using the silver arrows on Helmisar King, because with these you can one-shot him if you know what you're doing. And since he only's got Fighter Sword, it would be a much faster fight that way.
Yeah, one silver arrow to the green gem on Helmisar King will kill him outright. So that fight will be going just a little bit longer for Failstream. I believe it's 8 Master Sword swipes, or 8 normal arrows on the green gem to take him out.
Ozipone having a little bit of trouble with these turtles.
Yeah, this is probably my least favorite dark room in all of the game, just because those turtles can be a pain. You can try to knock them and just they'll become upright and yeah.
I also do agree with a lot of people who say that, the turtles, the homage to Mario, and they're not in Turtle Rock. Especially since Turtle Rock also has Chain Chomps, another homage to Mario. Go figure. Ozipone now working on Helmisar King here. 17 whacks with the hammer to knock the mask off, and then if he's smart, yep, he's going to switch to his arrows. 1 shot, 1 kill.
Great fight there, and Failstream picks up their Canis and Maria, so they're going to be on their way to finish this dungeon here quickly. Oh, wait.
He's next. Oh, he's I think he just realized he needs to finish the dungeon. Ozipone getting a big 20 from the Helmisar King, but he also gets his 3rd crystal. And as Carissa in the chat points out, yeah, Turtle Rock has chain chomps, pokies, pipes, line-guarded platforms, and lava. And yet it doesn't have the turtles. Wrap your head around that one.
I don't have an answer for it.
No, I don't think anyone does. Anyway, Ozipone now heading over to East Death Mountain. He's going to be checking... the caves that we saw earlier. He's going to be getting his Master Sword and his mirror. They'd be very happy to find those right now.
Yep, and then we'll see if he decides to head on over towards Tower of Hera to get that crystal out of the way and open up the double-chested fairy on the pyramid. Yeah, they do make a good point. The boss is indeed a big turtle, so I mean, there's one thing there.
And now the fan theorizing begins. Ozipone now picking up his Master Sword, got his mirror downstairs. Where does he go after this? That's the question.
And Failstream onto the Helmosaur fight. So we will be seeing just a little bit different of a fight here since he does not have silver arrows. So we won't be able to one-shot Helmosaur. So we'll see a fairly vanilla fight for Failstream.
Pretty much. Ozipone now working his way across Death Mountain here. He's going to be heading over to Tower of Hera. Both of them, funny enough, skipped the Spiral Cave. Neither one of them ran into there.
Oh, we may see Ozipone decide to head on back that way, or they could just be saving it for when they come back up here for Dark World Death Mountain, 'cause it's kind of a little bit on the way.
That's very possible. Failstream now picking up his big 20 from Helmosaur King, gets his fourth crystal. So I would say Failstream's got a slight lead, but without those silver, you know, hopefully he remembers to pick up those silvers from Stumpy. He probably will. The question is, where does he go next? What's his next play?
I mean, I think at this point you don't have the flippers yet. I mean, you have the mirror, so you can check some of the mirror spots, but it looks like he is going to go ahead and do the Pyramid Fairy here.
Yeah, that's true, because he's not doing this for Swamp Pals, because we know he can't go in there without the flippers.
Yeah, because I think at this point they're locked out of pretty much everything, aside from these overworld locations.
Yeah, they can't go into the desert because they don't have the flute or the book. Swamp Palace is locked out because they don't have the flippers. Skull Woods can't be finished because they need the fire rod, but that's dependent anyway. Ice Palace they technically could do with fake flipper, even though it's not in the logic. And of course, they can't do Misery Mire without the flute, and they can't do Turtle Rock without at least the fire rod. You know, they probably could, but it's very risky. Failstream picking up the silvers now from old Stumpy, so that takes care of that. So right now, it's all overworld checking. There's items in the overworld we haven't found yet. And Failstream, I don't think he didn't check the mirror cave. Why did he skip the mirror cave?
Maybe not realizing he has the mirror. I'm not sure. I mean, another thing that he didn't check was the Tower of Hera basement, so we know that's got to be an item.
Yeah,
so we'll
he's skipping a lot here.
To go there.
Yeah, he's skipping a lot of locations here, and when you're this far and there's so many items left to find, you don't skip spots like that.
Alright, so Ozipone is indeed going to be heading into the basement here, so let's see if this is going to be detrimental for Failstream.
Yeah, we'll find out soon, though. Failstream now does remember to check the mirror cave, so thankfully he has not forgotten that. Let's see if this pays off for him. And Ozipone now going to be setting up for some coffee big stress, perhaps. Just 100 rupees in the mirror cave.
All right, and he does get that invincibility there, so he can take a breather and grab a drink, you know, take a nap, whatever you want to do here.
And Failstream now finally remembering he's got those two crystals, so he's gonna pick up his big bomb and head over to the Pyramid Fairy, check the pyramid itself as well, and of course, baby catfish along the way. And let's see what Ozipone finds. Let's see what Failstream passed up in the basement of Hera. Will this be nothing, or will this come back to haunt him? It's just a Fisher Price shield.
All right, so it actually pays off for Failstream here.
Perhaps, but bear in mind that if he finds an item that trolls him hard enough, he may go back there to try to find it, and that could cost him time. He'll have that in the back of his mind for a while.
Yeah, so it looks like we will be seeing Spiral Cave here.
He's going to run through there. What do we find inside the pyramid? We have triple bombs and Titan's bits.
Oh!
Great find for Failstream. Let's see what Ozipone finds in the Spiral Cave. Just a big 20. So Failstream, while his routing is rather odd, it's not hurting him that much. It's paying off more than it's hurting him.
All right, now let's see what Catfish has here. All right, and looks
Well, it
like
was oh, you think you and I were gonna say the same thing there?
yeah.
Yeah, Ozipone looks like he's gonna go check. He's gonna head that way as well. Is he gonna do the same kind of route, or is he gonna go straight for the pyramid? He's gonna go the same route Failstream did. All right, so let's see what the catfish has for us here. What you got for us, buddy? What you got? Just a piece of heart.
And I'm surprised Failstream doesn't mirror here to go check out Zora. He's up here anyway. It's one of the more
right?
out of place spot.
I got a question. I don't normally do this, but I'm questioning the routing of these runners. It's very weird.
So we'll see if Ozipone decides to check out Zora. If I'm not mistaken, Ozipone has checked the. He was the one who did the water walk. If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he checked everything but Zora itself because he couldn't afford it at the time. All right, so Failstream gonna check the graveyard cave, and probably gonna route in King's Tomb as well. Let's see what we find here in this cave. And heart container.
And chat's already calling for vanilla flippers from Zora.
At this point, I wouldn't question it. We'll see here. Let's see what Failstream finds here in the King's Tomb. We have just a big 20. All right, so let's see. For go mode, we need both rods and the flippers. That's it.
Yeah, both rods and
Unless-
flippers, and then depending on what medallion is required, we haven't checked that yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, those are the 3, maybe 4 items we need. Is the both rods, the flippers, potentially bombos. We don't know yet, though. It looks like Failstream might be checking that because he's heading over this way. I think he's gonna check Dark Death Mountain at this point.
Yeah, and bombos could be required anyway if they don't find the fire rod for Ice Palace. So if Ice Palace has the fire rod, it could be interesting.
All right, so let's see what Failstream discovers here. He's going to open up Turtle Rock. What medallion is required? If it's Quake or Ether, he can open it up immediately, even though he can't get too far into it. But if it's Quake, if it's Bombos, we'll see. And it's Ether!
All right, so on the Zora ledge, we did see that there was just a heart container. So Ozipone is going to get this knocked out and just get another location under his belt here.
Yep, what is Zora going to have for us? Life lesson, love lesson, or worth? At this point, anything is possible here with the amount of items we still have yet to find. What has Zora got for us today? It is some code red.
Not a terrible find. But
No,
never want to pay 500 rupees for red goo, though.
No, definitely not. And not finding much in the Super Bunny Cave, but Failstream can also check the Hookshot Cave, since we have the means to check that now. I get the feeling that's going to pay out something.
I mean, it almost has to. I mean, at this point, aside from Hookshot Cave, I mean, they can dip into Turtle Rock. They may not be able to get too far. I think these are some of the only locations that are...
Mushroom! Hashtag fetch quest. And what else do we find? The flute!
The flute! Alright, so that opens up Meyer area.
And he's going to route in Spiral Cave, which we know doesn't have anything, but at least he's getting it out of the way. Ozipone now going to follow suit on Failstream. He's going to check Dark Death Mountain now. And probably do the same things he did. And as chat points out, thanks to having the flute now, desert is opened up because we can flute to Mire area and mirror to desert. So this opens up a couple more dungeons for him.
Yeah, and they have everything that they need to complete desert. They have the boots, they have their fire source. So that's another crystal that they can go ahead and knock out real quick.
And looks like Failstream's heading to Kakariko. He's going to activate his flute. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask for you to stand or to rise for the Hyrule National Anthem, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose.
And let's see what Failstream decides to do with this flute.
He's immediately fluting to the Mire area. Not a bad call in this case. He's got several areas he can check here. You've got the Mire Shack. You've got the Checkerboard Cave. Let's see. He's not even going to bother checking to see what medallion's needed for Mire, which I don't blame him in this case. He doesn't need it yet. Let's see what he finds. Here we've got 5 rupees and a heart container.
And looks like that was Quake for Misery Mire.
Oh, so that means both dungeons are accessible. And in the case of Mire, completable, which might tempt them, considering that might be an item in there. There might be an item in there. Big 20 inside the Checkerboard Cave. And he's going to trick Agnes Cave before considering going into desert.
Yeah, I think at this point you go when you do desert first, hoping for that progression item that keeps you away from going into Mire. And if you don't find anything there, then you dip into there to look for your next piece of progression.
Only finding a 5-bomb upgrade there in Agnes Cave, not much paying off from there, so I think the next play for this is indeed Desert Palace.
And Ozipone looks like he's setting up the fake powder glitch here.
Yeah, a little trick that some of you might not know. If you have no magic, if you drain all your magic, try to use the cane and then switch to the mushroom. It will act as though you are trying to use the powder. So it will work here, and there we go. He gets the early powder check. Let's see what the bat has for us. Triple bombs on the desert ledge. And we get triple bombs from the Bat Cave. All right, so Failstream indeed going to check Desert Palace. Going to go right for the torch. See that? There's the big key. Well, it's a good thing we found those boots early.
Yeah, because boots are now required for this seed here. And
now that Ozipone has done the fake powder glitch, he's going to turn in his mushroom, and he's going to see what the witch has for him today. We get piece of heart from the mushroom check, and a small key out of the big chest. Still haven't found any items yet in desert, but that should change soon. There's another shield. That's 2 shields. That's all 3 shields accounted for, though we're only probably going to ever see 2 of them picked up.
next, the 3rd shield was in the Lumberjack Cave.
Exactly. So that means that's one of the 2 items down here for desert. And there's the compass, which means that if it's either a key or an item in this chest here. It's big 20. Or no, not the key, map. Because they haven't found the map yet. So he's going to go take on Landmolus here shortly. So we know he's got the map, but he also has their next crystal, so that's where he's going. And Ozipone's pretty much following suit on this one.
Yeah, this is a really close race, you know, an hour into this. Both racers pretty much doing the exact same thing, so...
True, but however, Failstream has the slight advantage for being slightly ahead of the game here. He's already, you know, he completed Hera a little bit earlier, and even with checking everything, he skipped a lot of locations that have ended up being nothing, which has bought him a good amount of time.
Yeah, but you know, like you said earlier, some of those locations could just be burning in the back of his mind. You know, if he gets stuck later on trying to find an item.
We'll see how this plays out. As he takes on Lemos, he's got his silver arrows out. Couldn't quite get the one cycle on it. But he gets the 2 cycle without having to worry about the last part. So he gets through, gets his map, and that's going to be his 5th crystal.
Yeah, you gotta feel good having 5 crystals an hour in.
So now the question is, where are those flippers? Because he needs those flippers to do much else at this point, and he still hasn't found either rod. So what's he gonna do here? He's gonna turn in his mushroom. We know that's not gonna pay out for him, and he's gonna lose that the fake powder glitch, which again doesn't pay out anyway, so it's not gonna be a huge loss for him. At this point, he may have to dip back into. He may have to go dip into Mire. That's the only dungeon available to him right now.
Yeah, you can dip into Mire and can check like 1 or 2 locations. Well, at the very least, 1 location in Turtle Rock. But I mean, yeah, I think Mire is definitely the place to go right now.
Got 2 potential items in Misery Mire. A good chance of at least finding one of the items needed, whether it be the. I'm calling it out. Flippers in Mire. Flippers are in Misery Mire.
You know, it'd be really interesting. I've only seen this once, but having both rods in Misery Mire.
It's not outside the possibility. We're still missing quite a few items when you think about it. We still haven't found. There's still a lot of like optional items. We still need to find the red mail. We still need to find 2 sword upgrades. Yeah, and of course there's stuff like the shovel, the book, the blue cane, powder, cape. There's a lot of items floating around.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a lot of items in, you know, clustered together. It's always been like, you know, 1 item here, 1 item there. I mean, for the most part, everywhere that they've gone has paid off in one way or another. Unfortunately, it's just, you know, that just 1 breadcrumb of the entire loaf of bread that they've been able to find at a time.
Yeah, it's been a very linear seed thus far. So we'll see what else they find along the way there. So at this point, we're just watching Failstream to see what he finds here in Mire, because Ozipone is still pretty much following right behind him.
All right, and we have the flippers.
Hey, there's the flipper.
Burn the witch. You called flippers and mire.
I've been found a witch who wants to burn me.
All right, so that opens up Swamp Palace now. And unfortunately, without a Fire Rod or the Bombos Medallion, they can't do anything in Ice Palace yet.
No, not yet. Ice Palace is locked. They're really, this again, very, very linear seed thus far. So we'll see what else they find here. And of course, now we have to sit to the worst cutscene in the game because it's just the screen shaking for a good solid 10, 15 seconds, and you don't even get to see what's going on.
Yeah, that cutscene seems like it takes forever to complete. And so far, only one item has been found in Misery Mire. So,
In chat pointing out
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, the chat pointing out the only thing left to find, the only potential pedestal item is the ice rod at this point. So that's the worst thing you can have is the trolliness. There's the shovel.
So there's our two items.
There's our two items. So Failstream's gonna nope right on out of there. Don't blame him. So he can either go to, he's gonna have to go to Pendant Swamp Palace and check it. That's the only thing he's got really available to him at this point. And that's indeed where he's going. He's gonna link over to his house and take the Dark World portal here, head over to Swamp.
And meanwhile, Ozipone is going to turn in the blacksmith here and check out these hammer pegs.
Oh yeah, we haven't checked these yet. And we haven't checked Purple Chest either. Those are 3 potential spots that haven't been checked yet. There's 300 rupees in the pig cave. Let's see what good old Jeremiah's got for us here. Big 20 from the blacksmith, so not much there. Unfortunately, gets a small profit. That's not too bad, but not what he was looking for. Let's see if the Purple Chest has anything for him. Meanwhile, Failstream's going to enter Swamp Palace and see what he finds there.
Now, if you find one of the items that you need for progression, if you're one of these runners, would you just quit out and hope that there's nothing else in here?
That's a gamble. That is a big gamble for Failstream if he does that. I would at least check to see if you can get all of them. There's 6 items in here, and considering how many items they still have yet to find, there's another heart container. But considering how many items they still have yet to find that they need, mostly the 2 rods, you want to try to make sure you get both of those before you leave. I think would be my rationale here. Now Ozipone going to head into Misery Mire as well. He's going to be getting his flippers and shovel. We're still looking for those 2 rods. Where are they hiding?
And for those of you who may not have seen the randomizer or are familiar with it, you can actually drown one of the keys here. Because in the vanilla dungeon, the hookshot is in that big chest. If you hookshot up and get that first key, you can unlock the door here on the left side, which can actually end up. There's a lever here that you can raise the water level with the key in that small skull pot. Failstream had me.
Yeah, I
mean,
thought he was
worry
going to
there.
drown the key there for a second. And that would have been
Oh,
bad.
jeez. That'd have been the worst commentator's curse ever.
I know. But thankfully, we've avoided such fate.
Yeah, so if you raise the water level before picking up that key, you'd have to exit the dungeon, go a screen transition away, and come back and lower the water level again, just to come back in here to kind of reset the water levels in this dungeon to come back through here to get that key.
It's the worst kind of double dipping you can deal with, because anywhere else you just go right back in and start over. Here you have to go out of your way to reset the freaking dungeon to start over. All right, so Failstream, Ozipone picking up his flippers. Failstream now got to check the left side of Swamp Palace. There's 2 items over here. What will he find? Will he find a rod?
Let's see. At this point, he needs either a rod or the bomb host medallion. One of the two.
There's the fire rod!
So
ask and you shall receive, and there's the big key.
So that opens up, there's still 1 item in Skull Woods too. So that gives them access to the last item that's there.
Given that it's a pendant dungeon, the question is do you gamble on it?
I mean, at this point, that's a tough one. You still haven't found the ice rod, and it's the only item that can really be on the pedestal right now.
Failstream running a very dangerously low on health, opted to use his blue potion there. Not a bad call. He's going to check the big chest. There's a big 20. So right now we are an ice rod away from go mode. What the worst potential item to have be your last item, because with Turtle Rock being a crystal, the ice rod could be anywhere except in Ganon Tower or on Trinex.
Yeah, and that's the worst feeling. If I see that Turtle Rock is a crystal, I'm hoping I find the ice rod early.
Ooh, Tempered Sword. Nice to find that right about now. He's going to be appreciating that. 300 rupees. He's got all the dungeon items, so I'm pretty sure, unless it's a key, I think the last item is on Argus.
Yeah, I do believe the last item will be on Argus. So could we have a double rod Swamp Palace? And finding that fire rod, it definitely makes Turtle Rock a more appealing choice. They have access to everything, so that ice rod could even be on the laser bridge there too.
Yeah, that's evil. It is definitely evil. Then again, it's not as evil as if the ice rod is on the pedestal. We still don't know, and if they don't find the ice rod by the time they get to Laser Bridge, by the time they finish Laser Bridge, then they're gonna hate themselves, because that means they're gonna have to go through. What do we find here? There it is!
The ice rod!
Ladies and gentlemen, Failstream has officially entered Go Mode!
I'm speechless right now. I don't know what to say. I mean, I was kind of just joking a minute ago, and I was saying, could we have a double rotted swamp? I mean, I didn't think would. Wow. Okay. All right. So
Now who's the witch?
here we go. Oh, jeez.
And being able to go mode both Ice Palace and Turtle Rock is going to be very appealing. And so this really pays off. It means he doesn't have to go back into Skull Woods. He can go mode Ice Palace, which that is actually pretty fast. And while go moding Turtle Rock isn't really that fast, it's still nice to know you don't have to worry about it. He may not even have to do Laser Bridge, so this works out really well.
Yeah, you may not have to do Laser Bridge. You won't have to do the Mimic Cave. So there's a lot of time there that you can skip from being in go mode.
Now, here's the thing though, Ozipone is not super far behind. He's only a dungeon behind. He's going through said dungeon as we speak. Truth be told, with good execution or some mistakes on Failstream's end, Ozipone could still win this race. He's definitely not out yet.
Oh yeah, this race is extremely close right now, and it may just come down to some execution, maybe a gamble on left side versus right side in Ganon's tower. So this race is still in both of these racers' hands here.
All right, well, once again, while we're waiting for him to get to any particular chests, if he's going to check any at all, ooh, a little trouble there on the Ice Palace bomb jump. It's definitely one of the more essential bomb jumps you're going to learn. If you're gonna speed run this game in general, much less in Randomizer, that is the one bomb jump you have to master. You want to learn that one as quickly as possible. But as I was about to say, if you guys are enjoying our runners right now, please give both Ozipone and Failstream a follow on Twitch. They deserve some support for the work they're doing for you guys. They're doing this for your entertainment, so, you know, give some love back.
And let's see, Ozipone, let's see what he decides to do here. Well, he'll likely check all these chests here, still looking for that ice rod.
Most likely, but
Wait,
Failstream is just blazing through Ice Palace, not checking any chests. He doesn't have to because he knows he's not going to find anything. The best he could find right now is red mail, and truth be told, if you're a good runner like these guys are, you don't need it that badly, so this really works out for him, blazing through this dungeon like nothing.
Now, I do need to ask, because I'm not seeing it on the tracker, did Ozipone skip the left side where the fire rod was? And he didn't check the big chest, so he skipped it.
Oh, he's going to have to double dip. That's going to cost him some time.
Nice opening to the cold stair fight from Failstream.
Not too bad. Couldn't quite keep him in the corner, but he got a good amount of damage early on. And using that fire rod just knocks him down quickly. And he's going to get the compass for that. But he gets his 6th crystal now. All he's got left is Turtle Rock. Yes, Dr. Bobtastic, Failstream is in go mode.
And Failstream going to go ahead and fill up his bottles here. He's into the last stretch of this race, heading up to Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower shortly thereafter, getting those blue potions as a safety so he doesn't have to stop back down here.
Definitely makes sense. You want to make sure you come prepared because you're going into Turtle Rock with blue mail. Not an easy thing to do, and you know, a lot of tough enemies in there. Plus, you got Ganon's Tower immediately afterwards. Definitely the right call to make.
Yeah, and you don't have powder, so you don't have the safety of all the anti-fairies in both of these dungeons. And Ozipone is going back into Swamp Palace, going to be picking up his fire rod here very shortly, and will be in go mode probably within the next minute and a half.
All right, Ozipone now checking left side. He's gonna get his fire rod soon, but admittedly that double dip is gonna cost him time because he had to go back in. So You know, it's not a huge loss, but right now every second counts. So now Failstream now making his way into Turtle Rock. One of the more difficult dungeons to do, even if you're in go mode. But at this point, that's all that's left. You're right there by Ganon's Tower. His routing has been very efficient, and his gambles have paid off.
So now he did find the big key there, so he's likely going to be able to skip the laser bridge, because he won't have to go and check the chest that the big key is normally in.
That's going to save him more time. That's one less issue to deal with. Again, the most he could find is red mail and butter sword that could work in his favor. But honestly, you've got blue mail and tempered sword. You're in pretty decent shape. Plus, they've got the silver arrow, so Ganon is not going to be an issue.
Yeah, should be a pretty safe Ganon fight. You know, plus they do have the half magic. Unfortunately, don't have any cape to kind of make use of that, but you know, that half magic does make it a bit safer should they find the cape, or even the cape of Burna, or the cane of Burna. So
Ozipone now making his way over to Ice Palace. He's going to be go-moding that as well. So this is right. This is still anybody's race though. Right now, Failstream's got a pretty good advantage at this point.
good use of the Canis of Mario block there to hit both switches.
Really well done. All right, so let's see what we find here. I know we've been quiet here, but really there's not much to say at this point. I mean, this race is pretty straightforward from this point.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be picking up the key here from this pokey, and will not need to go check the other chest here.
Nope, he's going to immediately skip that. Does get Bunny Beam, but he dodges those any fairies and gets right on through.
And we're about ready to see Ozipone about ready to do the Ice Palace bomb jump here.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if he has a little bit better luck than fail. Nope, never mind. He immediately falls. Failstream going to go the long way around. He's going to check he's probably going to check the big chest at least. It's right there. Gets another small key. That means it's pretty much guaranteed he's not doing laser bridge.
Yeah, so this will be a pretty quick finish to Turtle Rock here.
Now he's making his way through this dark room here. Again, everything's pretty straightforward from this one. It comes down to execution. The only gambling left to do is where the big key is, if it's left side or right side. And honestly, unless you make a very egregious error, Failstream's going to have enough time to check it.
Yeah, I think at this point, regardless of where that big key is, I think Failstream would be a bit ahead. Because both these runners are going to be in their boss fights at roughly the same time here. And here we have Trinex, the only turtle in the Mario-themed dungeon. All right, the first two heads are down. Now it's just the main body of Trinex here.
Yep, and with that tempered sword, he'll probably, if he's good, he can actually take him out without even getting to his main part where you have to hit the center part. Doesn't quite get that, but nonetheless gets through pretty quickly.
Yeah, really solid fight there from Failstream, as well as Ozipone with his Gold Stair fight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know what time it is. We're heading to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 possible locations inside of Ganon's Tower where that big key could be hiding. Get your guesses in chat where you think that big key is going to be. Echoes, where do you think that key is hiding at?
That key is going to be hiding in the Rando room. It's going to be in the top right chest of the Rando room.
All right, you're going to go that route. I'm going to go the opposite side. I'm going to say right side room, the room with the 4 chests. And I'm going to say the bottom left.
All right. Chat is definitely getting their guesses in here. Let's see. Karyoplasma agrees with me. It's going to be in Rando room.
Well, let's see where we go. Failstream now going to start on the right side. Probably going to check to see if there's any keys over here first, and then decide where he goes from there. There's a piece of heart. He gets a heart container for it. There's a big 20, so he's going to have to go left side. So the odds are in your favor right now, Echoes.
All right.
And we find 10 arrows on the torch, so that means Bob's going to live if we see him.
So that's 3 of our locations down here is number 4 through 7.
Yep,
and we have just a small key here.
Trying to get past that stall child there. Gets 50 rupees out of the second chest in here. And we get another small key. And 5 arrow upgrade. Now he's heading into the fire bar room. And gets a bug net.
We're getting ever so closer to that Rando room.
Yeah, again, it's looking like it's in your favor here. We'll see how this plays out, because I believe there's one more chest before the Rando room. So let's see if we find it in the fire snake room here.
And we have
5 arrow upgrade. Time for the Rando room.
Come on, Rando room. And the moment of truth here.
That is location number 9, if I'm doing my math right. It's number 10. There it is!
It's in Rando room.
Wasn't the chest you called, but very, very close. A lot closer than I was.
Jeremy Trammer, our tracker today, very excited that he chose the correct chest.
Jeremy, my friend, you are doing a lot better than I've ever done. I have never once guessed the correct location of the big key. I have had the worst losing streak ever when it comes to that when it comes to this guessing game.
Yeah, I think I've only guessed it once, and that was actually in a commentary I did last night, where it was in the vanilla location, in the vanilla chest. So, Failstream getting ready to head up the gauntlet here.
And I was probably about halfway through Turtle Rock right now, so a slim chance to catch up at this point. It's again, it's down to execution, but Failstream's execution has been pretty solid. I don't see much chance for Ozipone to catch up. A pretty solid gauntlet here so far for Failstream, getting through without taking much damage here, getting through those style childs. But now the real challenge begins. Let's see how he handles this.
Yeah, it's a very clean style child room. Nice silver arrow shot.
He is just blazing through this gauntlet. He is just owning it today.
Yeah, definitely one of the cleanest gauntlets I've seen so far.
No kidding. He's on to land mode 2 now. See if he can get better luck than he did last time. He gets the first one down, second one down, third one down. Very clean fight with land mode 2.
Yeah, dang near perfect gauntlet for him.
Yeah, it's looking like Ozipone doesn't have much of a chance at this point. Failstream's just dominating this gauntlet here. Ganon's tower, he is just making it his lady in waiting, shall we say. Props to anyone who gets that reference.
I can't say I get that reference.
That's why I get props to anyone who does, because it's an obscure one.
Ooh, it's gonna be close taking that fall there. Yeah, he's gonna wait for these torches to run out.
Don't entirely blame him on this one.
There we go.
Thankfully, with that half magic, he doesn't have too much to worry about there. He's not even going to bother picking up the magic refill before going into this torch room. He's just going to clear right through it. Ozipone now getting through Shrine Axe without too much difficulty. He's on his way to Ganon's tower, but we know it's going to be a little while before he gets the big key, so it's down to Failstream. It's his race to lose at this point.
And Failstream getting bunny beam there. Gonna skip that chest saying, you know what, I have everything I need. I got tempered sword, silver arrows. Let's go, Ganon.
Very easy fight there with Bullorm 2. No problem whatsoever. Will he check the last chest? Yes, he will, and gets a B-Torp for his trouble. So now it's down to Aghanim 2. Let's see how the Aghanim 2 treats him on this run. Not a bad setup here for this first run. You should oh, never mind. Couldn't get a hit there.
You jinxed him.
I know. I feel bad now. Oh, and the blue ball screwed him over again. He's having no luck here. Oh, there we go. Finally gets at least one hit in.
And the
nice triple. Oh, he's gonna opt to use one of his potions. He was one hit away there. He's just not having any luck here.
Yeah. Wow.
Every time he's Aghanim 2 trolling him hard. Finally gets him down. Took him long enough, but he finally takes down Aghanim 2, and now it's time for the big pig. Yeah, poor Failstream. At least four cycles without a single hit. That just had to hurt.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate there. He got the blue balls kind of screwed him up there a couple times, knocking him out of being able to reflect one of the orbs back at Aghanim.
Gonna play it safe here with Ganon here. Take down those fire bats. He's probably gonna have to at least go through one more cycle of this, and then he should be ready to go into the phase 3.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, Ozipone does pick up his big key, so he'll be heading up the toward Aghanim and Ganon's tower here. Getting a few teleports here from Ganon.
Ooh, Ganon's trolling him with the teleports on this one, man. They're just not letting up.
All right, and there's our first of 4 silver arrows.
Couldn't quite set up the torch glitch, but he's got a half magic, so not a big deal. Gets a single shot there. 2 more to go. And with a double, it's over.
Failstream ties it up with Ozipone.
Fantastic job, GG from Failstream. Well done. We're going to wait for him to walk in. As soon as he enters the door, he finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 14 seconds. GG, Failstream.
All right, so we will be joined momentarily here with Icon Words. We joined momentarily here by Failstream. He'll be joining us here for an interview. So, meanwhile, Ozipone finishing up the gauntlet, about ready to head into the Landmolas 2 fight. All right, so their next race hasn't been scheduled yet, so I do not believe it'll be following immediately.
Yep. Still, what a race here. These guys got a good chance of surviving this now. Failstream's got a good, must be feeling really good about that here. No, chat, unfortunately, Game 3 is not going to be right away because we have not had it scheduled yet. So once we get it scheduled, we'll let you guys know when it's coming. Just be on the lookout for that in the future. But, you know, there definitely will be a Game 3 in the future.
And while we do wait on getting Failstream in here, once again, these runners will put on a fantastic show for you today. So please make sure you go ahead and give them a follow if you like what you've seen. Also, shout out to our fantastic restreamer here, OPT Lawyer, and our tracker, Jeremy Trammer. And we are now joined by Failstream. GG.
GG.
So how'd you feel about that seed?
You know, I am happy I made the decisions I made. The ice rod the entire time was just on my mind, and to just get it at the end of Swamp was a huge relief. Just gigantic.
Yeah, I imagine like that right there, especially getting it right after the fire rod. Like you could not have been expecting that.
No, not at all. I was super happy. I just decided to finish Swamp because I didn't want to go back in case, you know, you just never know. Ice Rod can be anywhere. I was beginning to feel a little nervous about leaving the basement item in Hera, since I just hadn't found the Ice Rod yet, or the Fire Rod. Honestly, Fire Rod could have definitely been down there too. But I ended up having my gambles pay off. So
Yeah, you skipped a lot of overworld areas and a lot of potential dungeon areas, and somehow it like normally that would have been a death knell for any runner, but for you it just happened to work out perfectly for you.
yeah,
You know, that-
so I knew there were a lot of overworld places that I still hadn't checked, and my plan was to go back there and sweep the overworld if Meyer had nothing. But because Meyer had the flippers, I felt very strongly that Swamp had to have something in it. At least one item, which is why I actually decided, before I even went in there, I knew I was going to full clear the Fire Rod. I mean, the Swamp, just because I had a strong feeling that, you know, with the flippers, it had to have an item, you know.
Yeah, and it turns out you were right on the money there. Actually, it's funny, Ozipone actually double dipped into Swamp because he didn't check left side at first, and that came back while he was already slightly behind. That, you know, he had enough chance to catch up. That actually cost him, I think, in the long run.
Yeah, usually if I have one item left, I wouldn't go left side Swamp, but because there were two, because I had Fire Rod and Ice, I decided to full clear.
Yeah, that definitely worked out for you there. I'm trying to think, is it really... This was a very linear seed when you think about it. Like, every item was leading you to the next there. You know?
Yeah, definitely. It really felt like that. I actually almost dipped into Turtle Rock to see if it was Fire Rock locked when I was up there. But when I got the flute out of Hookshot Cave, I just decided there was no reason I should just go straight to Desert.
And Ozipone now actually working on the last phase of Ganon as we speak. That's how close you guys were. Like, he was only a couple minutes behind you. And it was kind of like that the entire race, where he was just an inch behind you every step of the way. Like, even though you guys did do different routes and different things, and when it came down to the main dungeon runs, he was always just a step behind.
I wasn't sure how close it was, but I was feeling nervous after I botched the Aghanim fight pretty badly. I was expecting to see a done any minute.
It was close. It was definitely very close. And actually, as of right now, Ozipone finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 46 seconds. GG to Ozipone. Okay, and he won't be able to join us. He doesn't have a mic, unfortunately. But nonetheless, GG for him as well. Well done. But yeah, like, just this, like I said, this race just, it was guiding you every step of the way, and you made the right call going for just the gambles that you did. Was there any gambles, like, at what point did you think there might have been a gamble you messed up on big time?
Honestly, there weren't really any big ones. I mean, I knew that it was possible. There were some items the items that I left behind were the scariest source of my gambles not paying off. Mainly, not getting the green pendant in Meyer, leaving the Hera basement, and not doing the blacksmith routing in the overworld, or the fake flippers to Zora. Just a lot of things that I ended up leaving that ended up just paying off for me. But definitely could have bit me, you know. I could have come back to bite me, you know, if the items that I needed had been there, especially like the ice rod. Ice rod could have been anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. We were really starting to consider ice rod on pedestal, which thankfully didn't happen. It was only a piece of heart on the pedestal, actually. We can confirm that.
Yeah, I was wondering if it might have been a pedestal scene, but you know, I felt like I shouldn't like jump to conclusions quite at the point that I was at. If I hadn't found the ice rod in Swamp, I might have started to after ice started to clear the pendant dungeons afterwards.
Man, and Ozipone, he is in the call with us, but obviously, like we said, he doesn't have a mic, so he can only hear us right now. But definitely GG to you as well, Ozipone. You did a good job. Honestly, dude, I'm gonna tell you straight up, you did nothing wrong. You made neither of you made any mistakes in your run. Like obviously, you guys made a lot of gambles, but you made no mistakes. And it was just, and Ozipone, no, he didn't do it a lot earlier. You were right. You were only like a minute or two behind him. Honestly, if the only reason he got ahead of you was that he gambled on skipping a lot of items that you ended up checking. And honestly, that's what cost the race. It wasn't anything you did. It was just he took some gambles and skipping places. So don't count yourself out on this one.
Yeah, it was really close all the way through. I believe Failstream skipped out and checked a couple overworld locations that you had checked, as well as he skipped the Tower of Terror basement as well. So, I mean, for the most part, I mean, the routing that you guys did was pretty close to being identical. He just, Failstream just checked a few less locations than you had. So, I mean, regardless, it was a really well fought race from both of them.
The only places that the only things that you did, Ozipone, was you like they said in the chat here, you checked the powder, you did the powder glitch at Bad Cave, the swordsmiths and the purple chest. He didn't do that. Fail didn't do that, and it's such a small thing. Like it wouldn't have been that big of a time loss, but in this case, it was just enough, along with the places that you didn't check, that made the difference. It wasn't like you went to a dungeon that you didn't need to go to. You guys both checked everything you needed to. It's just those couple little things that made the difference. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here. Any last words from you, Fail, before we sign off?
This has been a good couple of games with Ozipone, and I'm really looking forward to our tiebreaker.
Absolutely, yeah. You folks at home, you guys stay tuned to Game 3. Make sure you give both Failstream and Ozipone a follow on Twitch. Make sure you give also a shout out to our tracker, Jeremy Tammer, and our restreamer, OPT Lawyer, and of course myself and my co-commentator, Echoes. Thank you guys so much. Echoes, any final words from you as well?
The only other thing I'm going to add is we do have one more race coming up here in just under 2 hours. We will be having race number 2 between Blue Dolphin and Zebra Unicorn. That will be here on ALTTP Randomizer 1. That'll be here at 7 o'clock. That's all we have left for the day as far as the Link to the Past Randomizer.
Indeed, but don't forget, we do have our main tournament going on, which actually we don't have any reason going on, but we do have the bracket reveal coming up. I believe that's going to be at 8 p.m. tonight, if I'm looking at my notes correctly here. So make sure you guys tune in for that to find out what's going on with our main tournament. You don't want to miss out on that over on Speed Gaming. Make sure you give all of our channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 4 and ALTTPR or ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4, a follow on Twitch so you can keep up with all of the Zelda Randomizer action. But on behalf of everybody here, my name is The Shades, and as I always like to say, rock on, guys!